Bengals, Chiefs, 27-24. Cincinnati down at 1 point, 18 points, come battling back to being down 21-3. And there's a couple inflection points in this game and different things where I'm going to say that the game kind of turned, and everyone's going to look at, these plays. And this will be my opinion on why they went right or why they went wrong, depending on, which team you're looking at. End of the half. I love Andy Reid being aggressive. You have 5 seconds left in the half. You have one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. You have some of the most explosive players in the NFL. You have a huge tight end in Travis Kelce, who's a big time weapon down there on the goal line. You have no timeouts, and you just gotten a PI call on Eli Apple to give you the ball right there on the goal line. There's 5 seconds. Do you ultimately choose to just kick it and hang it up and go up 24-10, go in the locker room? You're up 21 at this point, or do you try to go for the dagger and get that 18-point lead? Andy Reid elects to go for the dagger. I like being aggressive. The play that he calls, check over the middle. The outlet is the swing to Hill. I like that play call. I don't like it in that situation, but if you're going to give me Tyreek Hill one-on-one with a corner when he's running full speed and only a yard to go, I'm taking that all day. That is an incredibly tough play for any defender to make. Now, Eli Apple ultimately makes the play. Kudos to him. Huge, huge play for Eli Apple being able to tackle Tyreek Hill on the goal line. And then the half ends, no timeouts, and there wasn't any time on the clock anyway. But with 5 seconds, you had the chance to get a play in. You should have flexed Travis Kelce out, ran a slant or a fade, one step, throw the ball, and it's usually 6. It probably would have had to have been a slant. A fade may have had too much air under it, but if the ball falls to the ground, it's over. It's over. You should have 1 second left, hopefully go out, kick the field goal, and it's all good. But the play had to be incredibly quick. You didn't have time to pat the ball, look around, look back and forth. And that's what Pat Mahomes checks the middle, throws that swing. If he was tackled, it was over. I don't even know if he could have thrown it into the ground at that point. Potentially had enough time. And maybe that's what Pat Mahomes ultimately should have done. But that's the first one. Love the play call. Love the play. Not in that situation. But Andy Reid being aggressive. And that's kind of his calling card. It's something he's always done. And especially when he's got a lot of faith in his quarterback like that, he's a guy going to lean into his offense. And it makes sense. He's an offensive coach, and he has one of the most explosive offenses you're going to find in the NFL. Next big play, inflection point. And this is going to kind of tell the story of the whole second half. Mahomes gets sacked by Sam Hubbard on 3rd down. Now, Kansas City needed only a field goal to tie, but they wanted a touchdown. They wanted to win that thing in regulation. And so the one thing the Cincinnati Bengals had done a great job of is they started 3-man rushing Mahomes. And they were getting there and starting to get some pressure. Now, he was running around, but they were relentless in their desire to ultimately go and chase him down. And they've got 2 nice defensive ends, and then they pulled Sam Hubbard off the ball, and he was the spy. So Holmes is waiting. Sam Hubbard shoots through there. The one thing in that situation you couldn't do is turn the football over. Pat Mahomes knows this. This isn't the same guy who is a first-year starter, sat behind Alex Smith, is inexperienced. This is a guy now that's going to his 4th straight AFC Championship game. He's experienced. He has the big contract. He's won an MVP. He's been to a Super Bowl and won it. He's been to multiple Super Bowls. He's lost in an AFC Championship game to Tom Brady. The dude's got a wealth of experience in the postseason. The only thing you can't do right there is fumble it. And frankly, you don't really want to lose 15 yards to put your kicker in a worse situation. Now, 45 yards is not the longest kick in the world, but it's a heck of a lot longer than kicking one from 28. So he loses all those yards. They put the ball on the ground. Thankfully, Tooney dives on it, saves the day. Huge mistake for Pat Mahomes, drifting around, trying to make a play. Instead, bury the ball in the dirt, throw it away, line up to play again. And then that ultimately leads that after almost throwing an interception in overtime to Eli Apple, tries to take a shot deep to Tyreek Hill. It's batted away by Bates, picked off by Von Bell, and then Joe Burrow gets the ball. The Bengals march down the field and ultimately kick a field goal.